Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, Abhay, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I haven't posted the second part of this app building for the quiz. Yeah, so I'm back here and let's get this over with, okay? So, I stopped in my previous video saying that we're going to be able to, share a score, right? So, when you're going to share a score, in today's video, we're going to share it via email. Yeah. Later on, when we try to share using other apps, we'll look into it in the next videos that I'll be building. Yeah, I will be building, guys. Don't worry. Just been really, really busy. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a button here. So, like, we're gonna go check the final score. So for that, we're gonna build a button and let that have both have a wrap content. We saw that earlier, and let the text be, let's say, text score. And we want this to be in the center of our screen, like when we go to the bottom. So we're going to put a layout gravity here just to make sure gravity, the meaning gravity says we're going to bring it below. So it's going to be center horizontal. So based on the layout that we have already built, it's going to come below and it's going to be in the center. And finally, we need to, give some on click for this, like how we did for the earlier ones, in order to check the final score. So let's name the final score as final score. We'll define this later on in the Java activity. And finally, let's give this an ID. Let's call it button 4. Cool. And I think that's it. We can finish this up. Yeah. So now let's see how the design is. All right, this works pretty cool. Now, for example, when you add so many questions, all right now I have 2 questions. It doesn't have a problem if you need to scroll down, but in the case if you have like around 10 to 20 questions, then it's a problem. So for that, we're going to make use of something called the scroll view. So scroll view, in the sense, we need to make sure that the scroll view supports the entire set of questions. So we're going to make the scroll view as the parent and the remaining part to be, the linear layout. So whenever we do that, we need to copy all these contents here. um, let's cut it, type in a scroll view and paste it. Okay, and this as well. And add this at the end, and that should do it. All right, we got to specify the layout width and the layout height, right? So let's do that as well. So it's going to match parent, right? All right, so let's check out the design. It won't make any changes, but later on, if you need to scroll down, we need to make sure that, it allows us to do. So scrolling part is done here, and I guess the entire layout is done. Now let's go define the final score option here. So we defined it as final score, so public void final score. We need to give the view parameter because we're defining the on click in the XML, so that's very important. So that needs to be part of the parameter. Now we need to define something called as the button v4, button 4, right? You can call it any random button. I just wanted to call it button 4. So button find view by ID r.id dot button 4. There you go. So now that we found out where it is, now we're going to use something called as the intent. Now this intent is like, an object that is going to allow us to shift from one activity to another. Like when I press, it'll go to a new screen. That's what we're trying to achieve here. Intent equals new. Okay, looks like we need to import this. Just press Alt Enter, and there you go. Intent of this, comma, we need to create a new activity. So what we're going to do is go to the app, create new. Let's create an empty activity again. It's called main activity 2. Yeah, let's finish it off. Okay, so we got two activities. Now we just need to add that main activity. And we need to view this as a class file because that's where we're going to transfer to. It needs to know to Java class. And there's one more important thing. There's something called as the put extra function here. And we need to pass the final score of our quiz. Like in a new screen, we're going to display only the score and a button to share. So we need to pass the score from screen 1 to screen 2. That's why we're using this put extra function, which is a part of intent. So call this as a name so that the reason why we're giving a name is to identify the same name in the next activity, because we're going to be using intent and it's going to recognize, okay, I've transferred one you know data from the first activity to the second activity. That's what we're trying to do here, followed by score. We're trying to do here. And this final start activity, I think you would have seen in the top where we start the first function. See that? Okay, this is just to mean that once this is open, it's going to start the next activity, and the next activity contents are stored in the variable intent. So I guess the main activity is done. Now we need to make sure we edit main activity too, right? So let's figure out how main activity 2 will look like. Again, we'll follow the linear layout, what we started with. This comes with the latest version of Android, so yeah. And we need to give the orientation always. Give it as vertical, that's what we need. And let's make the padding, common padding, as 16 dips. Yep, cool. So we need to enter something as the final score for this. So let's create a text view here. Right, text view, let's call it as match parent, followed by, let's wrap the content for the height. We don't want it to beyond anything. And let the Android an ID, because we need to show what ID we need to refer in order to change the text view when we're running the function. Because that's final score, followed by text size. We'll just make it 25 sp. That's like a common text size. And let the initial content be final score, so that when we run it, it's not in, it will not take in junk values. There are possibilities it can take junk values, so just assigning some previous term for it just to make it look good. Now, when we send a score, we need to send it along with the name of the person who played it along with the score. So let's create a form where we can enter our name, right? So for that, we need to use the edit text view, right? The edit text. So let's wrap content, and let's make sure that whenever we type and leave spaces, it capitalizes only the words beginning letter. So text caps word. So when we leave a space after a word, the next letter is going to be a capital. Yeah, I think we all are used to that. So let's give the hint to be name. We need to specify the name. Now, what I mean by hint, you'll see it later on. I'll show you that right now. So let's call it name. Let's give this an ID, like name. Finally, we need to create a button to actually perform that sharing. So like share score kind of thing. Wrap all the content. Let the text be share score. Um, Let this ID be button 5 or B5. Then we need to create an on-click function for this. Let it be sharing, share score. And let's make this again horizontal. So layout gravity. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it's not bad. So we just type here, and this will get replaced when we run the function, like this one here. And this will be the name where we type in our name and finally share score. So let's see whether up to this it works, right? All right, let's run this thing right now. Yeah, last time I started, we stored the state here, so I think we should be able to get back the original state with the newly matched content here. That's right, guys. A new shirt, not the same sleeveless that I used to wear before. If you've noticed, no offense. Okay, it's on. Let's select some things. Yeah, Luffy follows Monkey D. Dragon or Monkey D. Luffy. Submit this. It's correct. Let's check the score. Okay, so I can type my name here. Okay, now, yeah, we need to assign something to this. That's why it's force closing. So far it's good, guys. So far it's good. Now it's only a small bit. We just need to code the Java part and we're done. All right. Let's see how to code this part off. So in the main activity, we're gonna, keep an integer saying final score because we need to get back from the previous intent. Remember that. So let's create an intent variable here. Import it. Intent to get intent. So this would mean that the activities are going to be linked now. And let's store the text view t1 is equal to text view the idea of r dot id dot final score. That's our text view that we write in activity 2. Now there is something called as the bundle. So I want you guys to imagine bundle as a bundle containing all the data from the intent. Like you have a bundle of books, like it's mixed, and you're just scraping out the intent that you want. So you can do that. Get extras. We already passed an extra in our previous one. So bundle is not equal to null. We know that something is being passed, or else it's a false, right? So from there, we can assign now the final score equal to, we need it as an integer format in bundle dot get of, what do we name it here previously? Quiz underscore final. So we need to give that exactly as it is, because only is going to recognize the name of the information that we passed. And finally, we're gonna change the text view p1 dot set text. So this has got to replace it. Now finally, we need to make a share function. What do we name it here again? Share score. So something like share score. So we need to pass in the edit field, that is the name, and as well as the text field. So let's enter the edit text e1. Edit text, find view by id, r dot id dot name. So now that we send that, we need an intent. Now intent is not necessarily for switching to another activity. It is like basically giving a call to some other activity. It can even belong to another app, right? It can belong to another app. So that's what we want to do. Sending to Gmail, so we're going to make an intent to send through mail. Now send to means for, this is basically referring to an email sending, right? Send to. So remember this, guys. This intent is for email sending. So you need to pass a URI. So URI dot parse mail to is to specify to whom you're going to mail to. So this URI is going to parse and tell that I need to specify to whom I'm passing to. Okay. Okay, this doesn't seem to be working. Let's, yeah. So now that's imported too. Don't worry about the import statements. Android Studio will prompt you and you can do it off there. Now we need to make sure that the mail is sent along with the subject, so put extra extra subject. So we're gonna write it as One Piece is score. I get to know that the game you played. So we need to pass in the edit text e1. Finally, we need to also display what the score is, so I intend that put extra. So put extra means just sending some data, remember, from the previous instance. Extra text, we need to add it. And we've already stored this from the previous function. Now we need to do a checking condition to make sure that the package manager is working. So activity get package manager not equal to no. If this is true, we just start the activity intent. And I guess that's it, guys. Let's see whether it works. Alright, fingers crossed, and let's run the app. Oops, my bad. Let's run it back on this. Okay, so let's check it out, guys. So we're submitting this, submitting this. So we should get a total of 6 points. Okay, so let's name it. Okay, it kind of works. So when you're signed in, it's supposed to work, and you can send mail to the required user you want to. And I guess that's it, guys. Good job. So we'll finally build. So make sure to subscribe, share it so that people who actually want to start with Android can know how to just basically start and make an app that they can share. I think it's pretty good. So let me know in the comments what you would like to build next. You would like me to build next. Sorry for that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys soon. Code Dance are signing off.